Let the way be open. Sing through my voice, play through my hands. Let the way be open. Sing through my voice, play through my hands. Let the way be open. Sing through my voice, play through my hands. Sing through my voice, play through my hands. I got this today. I gave away my Big Buddha singing bowl in Ohio to a friend, and I wanted to get my own smaller bowl that sings loud and lasts. The other bowl didn't seem to do that, so I found this at a little shop today in St. Petersburg, and the man who owns it is actually was born in the Himalayas, and so I can't think what the name of the shop is. I posted on my TikTok. Hopefully this volume is okay. I just had that song playing. That song came on earlier today. It's from by the Beautiful Chorus. I love their music, their mantras and love and everything. I love it. I love that. And that's a lot of what comes out of me is like music, lyrics that I want to put to music. So I got some different instruments today, which one is the singing bowl. Love how it sings. And I've got some decks of cards here, which by the way, I was grabbing the cards to come do this. I've never went live on YouTube before, but my guides are guiding me to go live, to use my voice, to get my music out there, to sing, even though I've never been a singer and I always hated my voice. My nose has been so stuffy too. So, but it's like, don't wait any longer. So, but the funny thing is I was pulling out cards. I had these, which are angel cards. They're actually called, oh, I don't think I have it next to me. But it's an angel deck. So this shows just how easy it can be to get your own messages. Like I'm just like literally pulling out the deck and I'm thinking, okay, today I've been the most inspired I've been in a long time with musical instruments, having downloads and ideas and excitement come to me. It's like I'm getting my old spark back again. I feel like my intuition has been shut down for a while somehow, or something has been keeping me down. Life, but I go to grab these cards and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a live. I'm just gonna go on and try it, right? These two cards just fell right out. Like of all the cards, these two, and this always happens. It's so synchronistic, and you probably can't see. I don't know if this is probably backwards, but these two cards, as I'm getting ready, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm like getting inspired, right? Today I've been singing, and it says awakened creativity. And I believe this is for the divine feminine collective, not just me, because I know when I talk to other friends, other women who are also on this path, they're all doing the similar things around the similar time, and we all are transforming as a collective. So I think a lot of us are getting our creativity going, awakened creativity. And this is what, the universe, God is directing us to be creative, to be in joy, to do things that light us up, that give us passion, fun, play, and be in our divine feminine, our receiving mode, not our push, 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 which I've been struggling with because I felt like that's what I'm being asked to do, to support myself, to, be able to take care of myself on my own without a husband, without a partner. I just noticed I have that ugly box sitting back there. Oh, it's to take back Little Seed Farm deodorant. You can return their jars, which I'm really excited about. So I got a lot of jars to return. Natural deodorant. If you've never tried Little Seed Farm, it's amazing. And I had asked for probably 3 times if there was a way to reuse the jars. And then what do you know? They did it. So the Awaken Creativity, and yes, go for it. So I think it's yes, go for your passion. Yes, whatever I was thinking at the time, which was, the creativity, the coming on here live, trying something different, trying something new. So I think that's for all of us. And it's not just for the feminines, divine masculines too. We get stuck, especially divine masculines, in the 3D world of money and hustle and grind. And that the masculine goes for both feminine and masculine. The energy is in both of us. So women who have had to support themselves their whole life, they may be the breadwinner, single moms. It's like you have to be in that masculine. You have to work, hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. That's not how the new consciousness is going to be of the planet. Feminines, we are meant to be in that receiving mode. I heard something recently and I really liked it. Actually, I heard it online, and then I heard it from a friend that reiterated it a couple days later, is that, the woman is the receiver. The egg is the receiver. The egg just sits there pretty. Those sperms are coming to it, right? To fertilize it. We give life. We become impregnated. We give life, and we sit and we receive from the masculine. So, there's a lot about this that I'm still learning, but I've really learned a lot through my own experience of my marriage that I was in and how much our marriage changed, huge, huge difference. And I've learned a lot on my spiritual journey about it. So I just made a couple of videos on TikTok, and it's sort of talking about how we get shut down to our emotions, to our heart. When we're born, our heart is open. We're open to ourselves, to loving ourselves, to loving others. And, if we don't get our needs met as a child, as a toddler, we don't get picked up. We don't get held. We don't get nurtured. We don't get consoled and loved. Like I said, babies, have died because of not having human connection and human touch. So at some point you realize you're just not going to get these needs met. No one's picking me up. No one's caring for me. So you have to fend for yourself. You have to care for yourself. And this is what happens. And then when you get older, you are fearful. After, the age of 7, you begin to be fearful and self-conscious, and we start to self-protect our heart. And as we grow older, we have relationships that cause more harm, more trauma, abusive relationships, or just we encounter others who also have trauma and have attachment style issues, like fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant, anxiously attached. And we don't know how we're dealing with each other. We don't know each other's wounds. We don't know our own wounds, how to deal with those. So you come into this connection, and it's like one is running, one is clinging, that push-pull dynamic. And so we're out of balance, and feminines are out of balance because we're too far into our masculine, having to do. Masculines are a lot of times too far into their masculine side, which sometimes can be very controlling and domineering. This is, why we see, even just leaders and stuff like that. Like, if we had leaders like presidents and people that were running the countries, and if they were balanced in their masculine and feminine, the way we're meant to be, if we were living from our soul, from our heart, we would not have wars, we would not have hatred, we would not have division. And we also would have balanced leaders, both in their feminine and their masculine, where they could, one, use their intuition, they would be in their higher self, they would be knowing how to handle themselves and in the world and those around them in a balanced way that would be from source life energy, from God, from universe. But they would be in touch with their intuition, they would be in touch with their caring, more giving, loving side. And it would be balanced also with a masculine side that is more earth rooted, more grounded, and decision making, stable, strong. It would be that balance of both. But right now, how the planet has been for too many years is an imbalance of the men or masculine energy being too far one way, or maybe too far feminine, that makes it so it's hard for partners to come together. The woman is either having to go too far into her masculine side, happen to be the breadwinner, happen to be the one that's like in charge, happen to pay the bills, happen to, just do all of these things. So right now, and I'm feeling it, we're having to overcome, humanity is having to overcome a lot right now. And not everyone is doing it, but there's a lot of us on these spiritual journeys, and we are overcoming ancestral issues, generational patterns of the ones before us, of the ones who had fathers, grandfathers, the people behind them that were just like so masculine, boys don't cry, don't be sensitive, be a man, don't show emotions. And women that have had parents or caregivers that were like, don't be such a baby, don't be a sissy, just, stop crying. Or it can be the opposite, where it's just imbalanced, and the planet has been so imbalanced. And now we're in the age of change, of new consciousness, of spiritual awakening. I can't tell you how many people I have met that are having, they're on that spiritual journey, and I keep running into them, and it is not by chance. And we're having to balance that. So we're all having to sort of like wake up, heal, find what our wounds are, how we attach with our caregivers. And women like me, I'm trying to break that generational pattern of codependency, of needing someone else. I have to be alone. And I've been alone for pretty much a whole year. And it's for my personal growth. Sometimes it feels lonely, and it's like I'm being tested. I'm being put through the fire. I'm having to go through these things. And so are a lot of other women, a lot of other men. We're being refined. We're being put through these situations for our personal growth, so that we can come to our own spiritual awakening, and we can wake up, so that we can be balanced in our masculine and feminine side, both male, female. Every human, whether you're male, female, or any way you with any way that you define yourself, you have both. We all, no matter who we are, we have these energies within us, and we're all meant to balance these, so that we're not swinging super far into one or super far into the other. So I have noticed the difference the past months, actually the past year, I've been really on this journey of like becoming more balanced between the two. And I have seen miraculous things. And I'm planning on doing some interviews, but there's masculines that I have connected with that they're very intrigued because there's not a lot of women that will talk about different subjects that I will talk about. And I'm pretty much an open book. So if anybody wants to talk about all kinds of subjects, I will discuss them. And that's the difference when you awaken. You aren't really paranoid or worried about certain subjects. You become more comfortable with your body, with your voice, with the way you appear. You don't worry about things as much, and you can be more open. You know, you can be open with yourself, open with your body, open with love, and just be very balanced. Now, for me, I think I'm a little too far into my feminine, and I really need to get rooted where I can, make decisions, financial stuff, numbers, all that kind of stuff that I spent my life not having to do. And I don't like it. I am very much in the air. I am an air sign and I have lots of air in my chart. I don't have really any earth in my chart. So these kind of things are not enjoyable for me at all. But God is like forcing me to be on my own and have to deal with this stuff. And to me, I hate it. And I'm not the only one, I don't think, of us, but we're being forced into, well, we're not forced. We have free will. We don't have to wake up. We don't have to do these things. We can stay in our old life. We can stay in our old patterns if we want. Personally, I realized that, all my life, what I thought was that you have to stay married. Like this is it. Doesn't matter if you're not fulfilled. Now, I didn't have like abuse, but especially if you have like an abusive partner, anything like that, like we are not meant to stay in those kind of relationships. Those are soul contracts, karmic bonds, things that are meant to keep us stuck. Once you start spiritually awakening, you might find that your old life, the things you used to love, the people you used to hang out with, the conversations you used to have, those things just don't resonate anymore. They aren't enjoyable anymore. So then, you leave your old life behind and you start finding your soul family. You do your inner work, and then, the universe starts bringing in soul family members. Little by little, they started trickling in for me. And I've met them all over, everywhere I travel. So once we start awakening, we balance our masculine and feminine, then what God wants, the universe, source, spirit wants, is for us to find each other, find our soul partners. So you have lots of soul partners. There's lots of soul partners. And then there's twin flames, which up until now have been very, very difficult for those to come together because logistics, like finding one another, sometimes one maybe passed away. But I believe that we all have a twin. We all do, but it's very rare to find them. But I believe from the downloads that I get from spirit is that we are now coming into a time period where we will be able to find our twin, or definitely soul partners. Soul partners are easy. You just get along, you just click, everything's great. You support each other, you understand each other, you just, everything's peachy. Twin flames are more difficult because you trigger each other into healing. It is a journey of self, which I've realized that a little late. It is truly a journey of self. So it's an awakening journey. It helps you to awaken yourself to your own divinity, to your own spiritual nature, to source, to God. It awakens you out of this matrix that we're living in, out of this 3D reality that we think is real life, and we don't know what real life is. For me, I had left religion. I was in religion for my whole life. And then as an adult, I realized that my partner, my husband, it was like meant to be, because he pulled me away from my strict religion. He pulled me away from that life, and also helped me to be able to stop working, be able to go through these depression and anxiety and all of these things that drew me to therapy, gave me the time to be alone for hours. I was alone pretty much all the time. Pretty much my whole marriage, I was alone a lot. And even as a kid, like when I was crying or whatever, sad, I would be alone in my bedroom. So I spent my life that way, and now I'm alone again. But God doesn't want us to all be alone like this forever. We are meant to find our tribe or our soul family. I apologize, I get off this subject, so I get off on a tangent. But it allowed me to go through that time, to have time to reflect on myself, to see what is going on, which helped me to realize my attachment style issues. And why do I get triggered? Why do I react? Why can't I control my emotions? Why am I anxious, depressed, all of these things? So I had the time. So that partner was, I'm sure, we made this contract before we came to earth that you're going to help me to awaken and go on my path, and I'm going to help you to whatever it is that was going to help him. I know in the end, I feel like his heart really cracked open, and he was awakened to a lot that he hadn't been the whole time I was married. I think his heart was, which is exactly what I'm talking about here, his heart was like shut down to me. There was so much that he couldn't give. He couldn't speak. He couldn't tell me in all areas. He was shut down to it until boom, like right there at the end, when he knew that we weren't staying together, it was like his heart opened up. All of a sudden, all these emotions came flooding out. And sometimes that's what it takes. Unfortunately, it has to take breaking. It has to take something drastic for a spiritual awakening. And for me, I felt like I was in a dark night of the soul pretty much almost my whole life, because I was always in so much agony and depression and anxiety, where my ex-husband, he didn't really have highs and lows. I was always saying I was like this, boop, 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 like the monitor at the hospital. And he was like, just straight across. Like, he never went real high or real low, which is good. It's good, but I forgot what I was even saying. But anyways, so our relationship was like, I'm a talker, I'm emotions, I'm all the crayons in the coloring box. Like Michelle Chalfant had a podcast interview with her husband, and she was saying how she's all the colors in the big coloring box of coloring crayons, and her husband was like the little pack you get at the restaurant, with like 3 colors in there, like maybe 3 or 4. And I was like, that is exactly how my ex-husband and I were. But yeah, he helped me because I realized a couple routes I would have taken in my life before him would not have helped me on this journey. So he helped me through that. So I think we are here to help each other grow. We make these plans ahead of time, but we come to earth and we're born and we don't know what we planned before we came. So I'm sure we had this plan that we're going to do this and this is going to happen, and then we're going to part ways, because really the marriage papers, like isn't necessarily what we're meant to do. That is something that comes from man, from society, from humans before us. There is divine unions. There is unions that the universe, God has ordained, that wants us to come together. And I believe that we are now living in the time, it's like the year of the lover. So like we have people that are going to be or already are realizing they're having a spiritual awakening, and they're, maybe their partner isn't, and maybe it's just, sometimes it can work. You don't have to both be really super spiritual, but if you're lacking and both parties don't want to work on it, both parties aren't willing to grow together, and one of the partners is wanting to stick in their old ways, the old life, and they don't want to evolve and change and grow, then what I had to realize is divorce is not something shameful, that we're made to believe that a lot of things are shameful. Our bodies, touching our body, like all of the different things that we're made to be ashamed of as children, church, teachers, parents, people around us, babysitters, they make us feel shame. And one of the things is like, oh my God, you're getting a divorce. Oh, it sounds awful, right? But no, not necessarily. So I believe that right now we are meant to be our full embodiment of who we truly are, which is beings of love and light. To fully be in our love the way we were meant to be, we have to heal. We have to understand that the way we've been living is not the way we were meant to live. It's not the way Spirit, Source, God wants us to be living. And when we're ready to wake up, and not everyone is, and that's okay. We don't have to, because we need all of us. We need all the different levels of awakening, understanding to be here to help the planet. So when we align with our energy, when our energy rises or we have a certain energy, then we're meant to connect with other energies that are like that. And if that energy isn't able to match ours, then we stay on our same frequency and we allow those other partners, whether it is platonic or romantic partnerships in helping the world, partnerships in love, partnerships in, family, soul family. Once we are on a certain vibration of love, light, understanding, oneness, peace, joy, all of these things, then we will be a vibrational match for others that are the same. And then you can come together and decide what you want to do. But I believe, we have choice. And so many times we feel when we're in a marriage, we feel unfulfilled. We don't have any sexual relations. We fight all the time, or maybe it's abusive, or, we don't have anything except for the same old routine over and over. And you can fix this. These things can be so much better. So my ex-husband and I, we had the last year of our marriage was the best year of almost 25 years. And it was all because I changed. I healed my traumas, my attachment style. I became more secure. And just like this is talking about with the divine masculine, divine feminine, I was balancing that. So I had been so far in my masculine, always trying to be controlling and, sort of always sort of nagging at him. But I didn't know. I didn't know any better. I literally didn't know how else to be. So once I learned, I was able to get more into that feminine receiving side and allowing my husband to do for me, allowing him to bring me a glass of water, allowing him to help me with getting groceries or helping me make a meal. Like I couldn't do that before. I had that conditioning from my, childhood growing up, all the women before me, that the main thing we need to do is be a good housewife, be a good wife. Like that is your end all be all pretty much. Like this is what you have to do. You have to sacrifice. And then there's bitterness. A lack of fulfillment of self, a lack of passion in our own life, a lack of self-care, a lack of, just our own passions, our own desires, always thinking about what does he need? Oh, I have to be the good wife. I have to be perfect. The kids, it's like stress and anxiety and depression and codependency, always having to please others, people pleasers. So, I had to overcome that. And I forgot where I was going with that. So always happens. But, we're supposed to break these dynamics. And I can't remember what I was going to say, but I'm going to get out an instrument. I got this today. It's a rain stick. I love that. So a lot of us that are coming together away from karmic situations that are no longer good for us. I think what I was saying before is how I changed my dynamic of my marriage, right? So it got way better. But then what happened is it was like, wow, this is great, right? I've never felt so good. And then my husband started being better. But it's still, after that first year, it was like, I realized that we were being pulled apart from each other. Like we weren't meant to stay together. I was meant to go on this other path. So that's why here I am alone almost a year later. And, it's been times of growth for me this past year. I've had more growth than I've ever had in my whole life. And even though I've been alone, I wouldn't go back and change it. It has been very hard, but it's been very eye-opening. And I'm breaking these generational curses and traumas. I'm helping my ancestors. They're cheering me on. And I'm helping future generations by doing this. This is why we all are doing it. We are changing the dynamic for our lineage, for our future children, our future generations, healing our generational trauma. So the masculines, a lot of them are healing that being too far into their masculine, not being sensitive at all or showing their emotions, not opening their hearts. Their hearts are shut down and they don't want to let that heart out because they don't want to get hurt. And I understand, like it's scary, and it's like I gotta be tough. And then the women, we gotta be tough or too not too sensitive. I can't say that. We like people like me and the people, the women before me, to be alone when we have always been codependent. We have always been with a man. I went from living with my parents till I was 23 to living with my husband. I was never alone. So there's some that are like that, very codependent, women who have never had to be alone. And I worked for my whole marriage, but I always had that support. It wasn't just me, but I paid a lot of bills. I helped save money for us when he was off in the winter. I was always working. So I worked for, from the time I was in high school up until about 10, 12 years ago. Of course, then I quit working. I went through depression and I had my awakening and I learned a lot and all of these things. But now here I am, divorced, and I haven't worked in that many years. So it's like, it's that point where you have to have faith. You know what God has promised, and you know you're going to be okay. And I have to find a way to be on my own, and move forward. But then a lot of women, and I think, I don't know what the percentage is, but I feel like it's a lot, probably, maybe it's equal, but maybe a lot more women who are in that masculine side, having to be the breadwinner, having to support the family. Even maybe if they have a husband, maybe they're supporting him, or a lot of single moms out there having to fend for themselves without a man to help them, or without a partner, a husband, or, wife, without that masculine or that partner, and they're having to do it on their own to take care of, the finances and children and everything. So there's those different dynamics, but overall, we all, almost pretty much every adult living, has got their heart walled off. Hardly any people, I don't think, at this point have their heart fully open. Our hearts are opening, our hearts are healing. That's why I call, my name is the Innocent Healing Heart, because we're all innocent. We're all like little toddlers, little children inside. That's what we are inside, is we're just like that little child that was hurt, that was abandoned, that was abused, that, maybe our parents weren't even abusive. Maybe we think our parents were great, but no matter what, if you look at Johnny's Webb with CEN, child emotional neglect, you check her out. It doesn't matter. Your parents, you could have thought you had the best parents in the world. And even then, there is needs that were not met, because our society has been unconscious for so many years. And not just unconscious, but just getting by, like, look at the generations before us. They were just trying to make ends meet. They were getting through, our grandparents were depression, like just survival. They didn't have time to think about our needs and emotions and feelings. Even when I was a kid, like in the 70s or 80s, I remember on SNL, they would make fun of, feelings. Like, wasn't it Stuart Smalley? And it was like, he'd look in the mirror and say, I love myself. And, we would laugh. But actually, that's work, like with Louise Hay, to do mirror work, to be able to look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself. And I couldn't do it. I remember when I started therapy, I would try to do that and I would start crying. I couldn't. Well, first, I think I'd laugh. Then as I went through more healing, I would look in the mirror and I would try to say, I love you. And I literally couldn't. And then it'd be like, okay, if you can't do that, look at a picture of yourself when you were little and look at that and tell her you love her. I couldn't do that. I just thought she's bad, bad, bad. And I never knew I thought that. It was a subconscious belief. Until you make the unconscious conscious. It was unconscious. I didn't know I hated myself that much. I didn't know that I thought my little self was bad. It wasn't until I became aware of it. And it's like, oh my gosh, and so it's a process, but once we can open our heart, we can love ourselves. Then that makes it so much easier to love another and to allow love in, to let our heart open and to not keep our heart closed off to the world. Which a spiritual awakening, when you have that, it's really your spirit awakening, it's your heart awakening, it's your heart opening. And when your heart opens, it's like a whole new world. It's a whole new world. Okay. I'm going to take a deep breath. I know no one's here, but hopefully I can save this video. I got these today too at the Himalayan store. This is sort of loud. I'm going to take a few deep breaths. I have some crystals here, some little hearts, especially because I'm talking about love. This cute little one, this heart. That's clear quartz. And I have them in a shell. Like, how cute. I'm in Florida and we have so many shells. So I thought, how cute is that? You can't really see it very well, but to put your crystals inside shells, I think it's adorable. And then I have this one for the sacral. I can't remember what it's called, but it's for the sacral chakra, which I can talk about that stuff more. But the sacral is for creativity, and I don't even have my creativity necklace on right now. And then I can't remember what this is, but it's for love as well. So I wanted to do like a little oracle poll for the Divine Masculine Collective and the Divine Feminine Collective. And I believe that the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, what we are is light workers. So we're here to spread light and love. When we come to a spirit awakening, we awaken our spirit within us, which is just our life force energy that's been shut down by society. But it's that connection to our higher self, that connection to source. So it's been shut down since we were born. We're told, no, this isn't true. That's not right, whatever. So we're shut down to it. And we have to remember. So once we start remembering, our spirit starts coming alive. We are becoming awakened for a reason, because we want to share love and light with the planet, with our families. And so I believe that most of us, or if not all, are light workers. Especially if we're highly sensitive, empathic, neurodiverse, maybe on the autistic spectrum, I believe that we are star seeds. So we are light worker star seeds. We are twin flame star seeds. We are twin flame soul partners. So all of these different things. And we are connected. We are earth angels. We are here to spread love and light. And we have a sensitive nature that has been shut down. So like for people like me, and there's others that I met, I literally spent my life, I feel like being a mean person. Like I was mean, and I would be very toxic, to others. And I would cause hurt and pain to myself and to others. It was an awful way to live. But it's like I was always at war with myself, because it's when you have, is it cognitive dissonance? It's like you are not in heart and brain coherence. So my heart was this loving creature, like love, and I want to love on others, and I had so much love to give. But my head, my brain was telling me stories that weren't true, which was causing me to treat others and myself in a painful way, in an unconscious way. So I would react to what they would say, and then I would tell myself stories, bad stories about myself and my interactions and the others, and it was just like this constant vicious loop. So you could have these interactions with others, and it doesn't feel good, because your true nature is of love and light and oneness. That's our true nature. So when our heart is telling us one thing, our head is telling us other, we could come off as like a mean, toxic person. Like we're angry, we're bitter, we're resentful. We have this anger within us, this anxiety, depression, all of these things, obsessive, compulsive, perfectionist, all this, overzealous, control freaks, we could call ourselves, hyper vigilant. These are all mechanisms to keep us safe. These are all things that we've had to develop. We feel like we have developed because of pain and trauma through our lifetime. But that isn't who we are. That is not who we are. So once our heart opens up, we remember who we are. And it's like, oh, this is who I really am without all of the trauma. So I think that, what I've had downloads about this past year is that we are, and also I've learned from other tarot readers and stuff like that has really helped me to understand a lot through readings, is that we are, a lot of us, like, we're here to spread the light, and it could be in any way. It could be just having a happy family life and showing an example of a balanced family, a husband, wife, partnerships. But we could go into all kinds of ways to help the humanity. So it can be all different all different avenues I'm learning. It doesn't have to be coaches. It doesn't have to be teachers. It doesn't have to be, readers. It can be all kinds of things. And some people do mission work and stuff like that. So, but I feel that we're all, ones who are awakening now are meant to come into business partnerships or relationships, new partnerships that are romantic, or marriages, families, to have conscious children. If you're able to have children, and you want to be able to have children that are raised by parents who are conscious and can help that child to come into the earth more balanced and securely attached, then they will not have to heal from childhood. They will not have to try to remember who they really are. They'll already know who they are. They'll be born awakened, and a conscious family, conscious parents will allow them to thrive in that awareness of who they really are. There will not have to be any conditioning. There will not have to be, that programming, into that child that has to be undone. There won't be the programming and the conditioning to keep us from our true nature, to keep us shut down to who we really are, which can be we're from the stars. It can be like, we have past lives. We have our dharma. We have like our true self, our true nature won't be shut down by conscientious parents. And that is what's going to help the earth to transform over the coming, hundreds of years, however long it takes to, I hope it's not 100 years, but, just to get on that trajectory of the earth becoming new with conscious humanity, the way that God, universe intends it to be. Jesus, whoever you believe in, how was Jesus? What was he like? You believe in Jesus. What was Jesus like? That is what we're meant to be. That we all have that in us. We all can be just like Jesus. We put Jesus on a pedestal. Yes, Jesus did amazing things for us. He was a spiritual teacher. He was awakened. He was an awakened soul. He was a light worker. He was a starseed. I think a lot of people that have passed away, that have taken their own lives because they were so sensitive, they were so loving, and the world pummels them. The world puts them down for their sensitivities. Oh, they're weird. Oh, it's because from society standards, they think that sensitive people, empathic people that are neurodiverse, people that are starseeds, people that are these empathic, loving souls, they say there's something wrong with them. Like, I have my instances that I think of are Michael Jackson. People would be so awful towards him. I believe that he was a sensitive soul, and he was probably a starseed, and he couldn't take this harsh life here. He was too sensitive for this world. Robin Williams, and I'm sure there's a lot of other ones. And there's people living today, all kinds of people. It doesn't matter. You could be famous. You could be poor. You could be living on the street and be awakened. You can be a rich, famous person. You could be awakened or asleep. It doesn't matter. It can be anyone. But I can always get off on tangents. But yeah, when we start to awaken, we are meant to do more with our life, to be happy, to have joy and love in our life, to not have to be in that old dynamic of how we used to live, but to live free and in love and in joy and peace and harmony and unity. A lot of us too, when we're sensitive, like people may give you a hard time from the real world. But when I started therapy and I learned about how sensitive I was, I thought I had to look at things. No, I don't. I don't have to. I don't have to watch the news. If I need to know something, I'm sure I'll find it out at some point. But when you are super sensitive and awful things and fake news, a lot of it's fake news anyways, it is awful for your soul. I don't need to watch that. I started like just, you'll notice like as you start awakening, you stop using, you're sort of drawn, your higher self, our higher self who knows best is always trying to help us stop using chemicals, stop all of these habits that we have that aren't good for us, and trying to draw us to the things that are good for us. So, like watching, I used to watch all of these awful, these films that, some of them are, they're true stories. I don't regret seeing them necessarily, but those scenes from some of the movies I watched are imprinted in my brain and I cannot get them out. I'm very affected by them. Where other people like my ex-husband, he could see them and just like forget about it. Like it wouldn't bother him. Be like, it's just a movie. I do think after he had his awakening, when we divorced, that we're separated, I should say, that he seemed more sensitive to seeing like animals being hurt, where before it didn't bother him. So I think seeing animals being hurt, humanity being hurt, violence on movies, like super violent movies, like I didn't even want to hear it. Like I couldn't stand hearing, the shooting and the all the violence that is on movies and TV. And I just don't want to see that stuff anymore. So you change, your environment change, your likes change, your the people around you, things that you used to enjoy, it just isn't the same anymore. But we're meant to live in joy and peace and happiness. So once we can find our way, we can find our path, we can find our tribe, our soul family, our soul partners, we can do all of these things. We can enjoy life in a new way, in a way that we were meant to live. I hope I'm making sense. So I have these angel cards. So I haven't really done, I pull cards all the time, like for myself, but I hardly ever do specific for, I have done one before, which I feel like was for the collective. I don't have a ton of space right here. And of course this is live, so I can't just pause it. So I already cleared the decks. I think I'm going to put, I forget, the right is the giving side, receiving. I can't remember if the right side is the giving side, which would be masculine. Left, I think, is the feminine, the receiving side, but I could be wrong. But for now, I'm just going to, I think I'm going to pull a card for the masculine collective and put them here, and then the feminine collective and put them on the left. So beings of love and light, of 10G and above, please help us and show us love. Help mankind to rise. Help us to relieve ourselves of all of the lies. Help us now to rise above all the lies, the pain, the fear, the mundane. Beings of love, light, oneness, and truth only. All right. Let's see. For the masculine collective for today, angel card. For the masculine collective. For the masculine collective spirit. I feel drawn to pull 2 cards. So I'm going to put those here on the right. And your spirit for the feminine collective right now. The feminine collective. Those are the angel cards. And like I said earlier, I already got the awakened creativity and yes, which I believe is for all of us. Say yes to what brings you joy, passion, fun. Be like a kid again. Find wonder in your day. Take time to play. We aren't meant to be slaves to work. We aren't meant to be slaves to money. And we can be abundant. Abundance can be more than money. Abundant life, abundant love, abundant joy. What we're here to experience is joy and wonder. We have this one life here on earth as a human, this life to live. And us living alone, yeah, it works. We can live alone, go to bed every night alone, or just have random hookups. Like, yeah, you could do that. But it's not true living. That's not the way we were meant. Like, look out at nature. Everywhere you go, you see the birds together. You see the two butterflies going by. You see the animals and the birds that are together. We are not meant to be living alone forever. I've met like older taxi drivers that, oh no, they've been married, they've been single their whole life. They're like, no, women are crazy or whatever, they think these things. So instead of just being the slave to work, like, find, what did you like to do when you were a kid? What do you enjoy? Just for the sake of fun, just for the sake of joy and passion in your life. What lights you up? What is something that you do sometimes, like, say with your kids, and it's like, oh, this is fun. For me, it was art. We were at the art museum, and every time I went in there, I got to be creative, and I'd be doing more than the kids. So what lights you up? What's fun? Let's start doing more of that. I dropped a card on the floor. Okay. Then I have, so that's the angel cards. And then I have Work Your Light. You can't really see that. Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. They're so pretty. This lighting is really bad. I'm going to have to do better. Oh, what is that? Oh, bottom of the deck. Dance with Life. Can't really see it. Wonder if I turn this down a little bit, if you can see better. Maybe not. Dance with Life. Bottom of the deck goes perfect with that. Dance with Life. It says, do something to change your energy. Dancing can change your energy. So for me, when I was a kid, I loved to dance and I loved to do art. This song by a beautiful chorus, Sing Through My Voice. The words are, sing through my voice, play through my hands, let the way be open. Like, how perfect is that song for today? And my phone will just automatically like play an alarm, and the song will just come on, and it's always a random song. And a lot of times it's songs I don't even know, I've never heard before. And that is perfect. First of all, I've been guided to use my voice, and also I have lots of music to get out there. Sing through my voice, play. I didn't know it even said play. I had to look up the words. Play through my hands. So that could be instrument. Play, have fun, create, make pottery, art, cook, garden, all kinds of things we can do with our hands. So sing through my voice, play through my hands, let the way be open. That is the song I was hearing earlier today. So move our energy can be dancing. And I've been doing, I guess it's ecstatic dance. It's like intuitive dance. I want to do some of that too live. Sing through my voice, play through my hands, let the way be open. You can sing too. So I love when this happens, it's so cool that we have that. I lost that card. So yes, awaken creativity, and that one fell out. That might have fallen out for a reason. It says cleanse and shield your energy. I need to work on that. So there's different ways we can cleanse and shield our energy. And I've been learning about that. Energy healing, which is like Reiki, life force energy, baths, salt baths. I'm really bad about self-care still. So that cleansing my energy. I think cleansing your energy too, you could just go for a walk, move your body, exercise. You could do sound therapy. Meditate. Envision a bubble of white light around you. There's a lot of different ways you can look it up. I lost that other card. Oh yeah. So yeah, dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So I've been getting frustrated a lot with technical issues, trying to force things to do computer work that I hate, that I can't figure out. And I spin my wheels and I waste so much time, and it stresses me out. That is like so awful for my energy. So I realize I'm like, okay, I need to step away from this, dance with life, and do something to change my energy, because staying in that mode is not working for me. I'll have to figure out another day. I went this many years without having things organized in my computer. It's like, okay, I can just wait, because I'll figure it out eventually. I'm sure God will help me. So I love those cards. Okay. So Rebecca Campbell. And I cleanse these cards first. You just spread them out like really far. So, but that's okay. Okay, for the Divine Masculine Collective. For the Divine Masculine Collective. The Divine Masculine Collective. For the Divine Masculine Collective, what do they need to know? Okay. For the Divine Feminine Collective, what do they need to know? The Divine Feminine Collective on the planet right now. Usually doesn't take me this long to pull cards. I usually pull them really easily and quickly. But that's for myself, so this is pulling them for all of us. I feel drawn to pull a second one for the feminine. Okay. I'm dropping my cards on the floor. Oh, this one card was left. Sometimes there's just like a card that's just like hanging out there. It's like the only one left, or the one that falls on the floor, or when you like split the deck. When you split the deck to shuffle, I don't shuffle like other people do, but always look when you open your deck, like split it to shuffle, check and see what you open to. Like this one, I just was there. Protection, call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. So for me, I had a meeting with someone and she was saying, I have fragments of my soul. So it can be things from past lives, parts of ourselves that we cut off, and cut the cords. I believe, for old ways of being, old ways of thinking, things that don't belong for us anymore. And we're having a new moon. I believe it's on Friday. So I guess in a couple days. It's a good time for us to release what we no longer want and to think about what we want to let go of and think about what we want to let in. Call back our power from everything that is trying to take away our power, cut cords with things that no longer serve us, people, places, things that no longer serve us, and retrieve our soul back, our power and our soul back to ourselves. This is something that's been hard for me, so I'm going to be working on this as well. And get grounded. That's the other one that was open. So get grounded. Empaths, which is what I'm here talking to you. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. You can't see it. These cards are beautiful. Get grounded. That is what I've been hearing all the time. Go in nature, which I tend to be inside all the time. Go in nature, ground our energy for us sensitives. Call back our power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Okay. I could keep looking. I tend to I always want to see what's that next card? Okay. And I don't know where this one came from, but it's probably out for a reason. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So I have had that woe is me, why is this happening to me? La, 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 really whining and, just feeling like a pity party for myself with all the things. And I started complaining. I started complaining again, like how I used to complain. It wasn't as bad as it used to be, but I've had some crappy things happening to me lately, but there's people who have it a lot worse. But the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So we might feel like this period of spiritual awakening is so awful. It can feel so hard. Like you're on the narrow road. It's like the Bible talks about, you're on this narrow road, or you can be in the broad and spacious road where it's easy because that's what everyone else is doing. I believe once you're awakened, you can't unlearn, you can't unawaken yourself. You can't be go back to normal life. For me, I couldn't. I could not go back to how my life used to be. It was normal. that wasn't good. It was not good. I lived a life of, like being real gossiping, constantly talking about other people. And, that was like the main topic of conversation, like awful. I no judgment to them, but I like to the thought of going back to living like that instead of talking about ideas and, new understandings. Like it just, and strict and rigid and controlling and judgmental. All of those things that society we get wrapped up in. It's like, I just don't even know how I live that way. I'm going to do this one differently because instead of laying the cards all out. So this is what sometimes I'll do. It's just come through them. So for the Divine Masculine Collective. Oops, I looked. Whoa. Well, that, I don't know, that could be for both. Let's see. The Divine Masculine Collective Spirit. Divine Masculine Collective. And masculine and feminine, I always see it's energy. So it doesn't necessarily mean a man and a woman. It's just energies, because I personally could be more in my masculine, or I can drop more into my feminine. So it just depends on what your energy is like at the time. And I hope that today and yesterday, I'm starting to balance back into my masculine and feminine, because that's where you're going to feel the best. When you feel balanced and you feel like you're in your balance between your masculine and feminine, you feel more secure in yourself. So these cards are self-care cards. So let's hope that's for the masculines. One more card for the masculine spirit. One more card. One more card for the masculines. Oh, I looked. Oh, whoops. Habit. Okay. For the feminine collective spirit. For the feminine collective. What does the feminine collective need to know? For the feminine collective. I'm going to pull two. Oh, two are coming out together. I'm going to pull both of those. Okay, let's see. Can't go wrong, really. Any card you pull. I mean, the cards are beautiful and they're all good for us no matter what. So, okay, for Divine Masculine Collective, let's take a look. And then I'll end this. I don't even think anyone's here, but hopefully this can save. Oh, call on your angels. We are all being guided. We all have a guardian angel. No matter who we are, we have a guardian angel that's been with us from the time we were born. They've been watching us. They've been trying to guide us and be there for us and help us when we need them, and we can ask them for help. And I've been needing to do this more, to remember that I'm not alone, and ask our angels for help. Pray to them for help. We don't have to pray the traditional way. You can just talk. You don't have to be formal. You can just speak what you feel. You can write it. You can journal it. You can just talk out loud to yourself, but they're listening. Divine masculines, take your next step. So whatever that step is, what is your angel? What are you being called? What is in your heart? Not what's in your head. What is your heart telling you? Let your heart open. Let it unfold. Take the next step, whatever the step is. Letting go of the old, releasing the old that no longer serves you. Take the next step in your life towards your spiritual awakening, towards becoming conscious, towards your heart, opening your heart and letting love in. Letting yourself be in joy and peace and happiness, allow it in. Allow yourself to be loving, to allow love to come to you, allow yourself to get out of the rat race. You can, with God, we are all going to be abundant. No matter what we do, we have the blessing of God and our angels, the universe, spirit, source, energy, whatever you want to call it. It's science. It's science, and it's spiritual, and it's people and religion. It's all the same. Unbound. Ooh. Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So I know I've got a lot of this going on, past life experiences that I'm here trying to change the dynamic in this life, trying to release old soul contracts that I've been stuck in, karmic patterns, releasing soul patterns. So patterns that we continually are going through over and over, that we need to break the cycle, break the pattern, break these contracts that are no longer serving us, and release karma from past lives. Although I have the book I could read, but this has already went on for a while. Movement. And this is good for all. These cards are good for all of us. And I too, I did take a couple walks today. I've been trying to do outdoor walks more, get out of the house, move my body. I should dance and sing, move your energy. So divine masculines, get out of the office, take a break, go in nature, take walks, go for a run, exercise, dance, whatever you like to do. Dance, move your body. Positive affirmations. It shows a girl, but this is good for all of us. We need to get out of the mental trap, the mental loop, the loop of pain, fear, anxiety, fear of being hurt, fear of being ridiculed, fear of what others think, fear of what our family thinks. Fear. Fear is away from our true nature. Fear is away from our true essence, from source energy, from life force energy. It's away from everything that is abundant for us. Fear keeps us trapped in a loop of negativity. So I have a hard time with affirmations unless I truly believe them. So ones that like, what do you know for sure? Or you can just write down what you want to, what do we know? We know that all is well in the moment, right? There's just, I have some things that I wrote down on sticky notes, and I put them in places like wherever you look regularly, where if you're going to be, like I stand there at the fridge and refill the water filter bottle. So while I'm doing that, I was like, I could put some affirmations and look up and see those, So positive affirmations. Tell ourselves a new story. Tell ourselves that all is well, that this moment is a gift. This moment is all we have, that we are a being of love and light, that we are loved by God, by the universe, by angels. We are a good person. We are worthy of love. We are worthy of true love, of having our heart be open. No matter the pains we've had in the past, we are beings of love. That is who we are at our true nature. All the stories we tell ourselves, or that maybe our parents, caregivers have told us, or people have bullied us or hurt us through the years, or bad breakups, bad relationships, being cheated on, all of these things, they are not who we are. And something for the divine masculine and feminine, we all have to heal our wounded self with our parents. So if we have a mother wound, if we have a father wound, if we feel like our dad wasn't there for us, women, if we feel females, if we feel like our dad wasn't there for us, and we feel like every man is going to hurt us, every man is going to cause us pain. If every relationship you've ever had has been painful with men, and you just think this is it, well, that's what we're going to get. So we have to heal that relationship with our father, We have to heal the relationship with our mother. If we had a mother who maybe didn't know how to handle her emotions, she didn't know what to do. But we have to realize our parents were doing the best that they could. That's all they could do with the knowledge that they had. They were probably also traumatized as a child. There's still that little child inside. And yes, sometimes they could be super, super toxic, super, super painful, and find a way to understand and to release them. Cut that cord of pain that we have bonded trauma to them, because in order to move on in a relationship with someone, uh, we have to heal. Once we've healed the relationship, and you don't have to literally like heal it and be like you're best friends with them or hang out with them, but just for your own peace of mind to realize there's a reason they were that way. They didn't know any better. Even if they did know better, they couldn't do it at the time. They couldn't treat you the way they were supposed to treat you. They just couldn't do it. And to be able to understand why you feel the way you feel, and begin to just give yourself the love that they couldn't give you. Give yourself the understanding and compassion and love that they couldn't give you, and realize anything that they've told you, anything that they've done to you, anything that anyone has done to you painful, it was not your fault, and it was conditioning, and it was pain brought on by dark, it could be even just forces to keep us down, because as light workers and star seeds, we are pummeled, we are put through the mud, we are hurt and abused and used so that we will not shine our light, so that we will not rise up to our dharma and to our path of awakening, to keep us low, to keep us stuck. So we have these traumas to overcome. So releasing those and ask for your angels for help. So for the Divine Feminine Collective, let's see. All right. Ooh, right. A lot of us are very creative. A lot of us Divine Feminines, while we are in the process of awakening and we are alone, it brings out our creativity. So I learned this after I learned all these things after. I didn't realize, for me, I had a spiritual awakening. Writing started pouring out. Then art started pouring out a year later. And I realized, I was right away. I was drawing soul partner art, twin flame art, twin flame music, twin flame lyrics, like twin flame poetry, soul partners, karmic partners. I have all of these things, right? Even here behind me is a painting that I had started, which would be like a twin flame piece of artwork. But, right, so it could be, do you have a book inside of you? Do you have poetry? Do you have lyrics? Do you have a vlog, something you want to write, or journaling? Maybe it's just writing our thoughts. And I've been needing to do that. I don't know why I've been procrastinating on writing. You could voice it if you just want to journal, like you want to speak out your thoughts. You could just speak it into your phone too, and then delete it if you want. Starseed. Like, these speak to me so much, because I definitely, after this past year, I know I'm a starseed. There's like no question. Starseed, light worker, empath, here to teach unconditional love. Starseed, what lights you up? And this is good for both masculine too. This is the feminine, but this is really masculines. What lights you up? Outside of work, outside of money making, outside of business. And masculines, you can write too. This is good for all of us. Inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. That's what the innocent healing heart, inner temple. So our inner temple, devotion, devoted to our heart, maybe devoted to ourself, to our soul path, to what our soul tells us, to what our soul wants. Tune into the portal of your heart. So when it says portal, there can be portals to other dimensions, portals that we can jump timelines. We can actually move our life forward quickly if we want to. We can snap through, we can transmute. I transmute energy, transmute pain. So I lost track of the cards. The portal of our heart. So our heart, a portal. Our heart is a portal to a new life. Our heart is the gateway. This is what I've heard for the past year, that my heart, I have to keep my heart open. And when we have pain and trauma, our heart closes. When I had a Reiki session, my teacher saw that my heart, where my heart was, my heart chakra was like a little rose bed, and it was still closed up with icicles all around it. That was like back in the fall. And I feel like I have a little bit of a heart blockage. I hope it's coming back open today. I feel like it is, because we can have our heart open and have our spiritual awakening, heart opening, but we can have more trauma and then more triggers. We think we're healed. Like, I thought I was healed, but then I had things that happened that re-triggered me and brought up old wounds, apparently subconscious wounds that I had. And, maybe I still need to work through these, but that heart, the heart opening is the gateway to a happy life. Our heart being open is the gateway to everything that we want. This is why, I want to have heart activations, heart opening, because when you open your heart, that's when you can manifest a life of your dreams, and all the things that you want is with an open heart, not a closed heart. So starseeds, what light you up, right? Tune into the portal of your heart, which I think this is for masculines and feminines, really. Create art. Create art. I'm like, is this really for me? What I've noticed, though, is whatever is for me is not just for me. It's for all of us. It is the Divine Feminine Collective. And I have not been sharing this stuff. And I've been looking at this stuff for a year, almost a full year now, or it has been a little over a year. And I haven't shared, but I resonate so strongly. Like, when I will shift something, I notice that it comes out in all the readings over the collective. So it's like, one of us shifts, we all shift. Our energy all begins to shift around the same time, or sometimes there's ones that are shifting first, then the others come behind. So creating art, creating art would be dancing with life, doing something to change your energy, and saying yes to creativity, awaken creativity, doing art. So whatever form of art that you like to do. Do you like to play music? Do you like to make pottery? Do you like to crochet? Do you like to make food art? Paintings, drawings, whatever brings you up, lights you up. Connect with the earth. Never fails. So us as starseeds, us as light workers, us as empaths and sensitives and intuitives, we are meant to connect with nature. That's why this painting is the heart. And, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, we are part of the earth. We are part of nature. We have the rainbow. The rainbow is our chakras, right? Our energy system has to be in alignment. When our energy system is all running in alignment and all of the wheels of color of the rainbow colors are spinning properly, that's when we are open. That's when our heart is open. That's when I had a spiritual awakening. And that energy comes from source, from the universe, life source energy. And you can imagine it coming down as a rainbow. You can imagine it coming down as like a gold, silver, white cleansing light. And it's coming down into your crown chakra, and it's coming down into your third eye, and it's coming down into your throat chakra, where you can speak your truth, and it's coming down into your heart. It's coming down into your solar plexus, which is like above your belly button area. And it's coming down into your sacral chakra, which is below your belly button. And then it goes down into your groin area, like down at the base of your spine, and that is your root chakra that grounds you to the earth. So we're grounded from our crown up to source energy, to God, Jesus, ascended masters, to your spirit guides, to angels, galactic beings, starseed families, galactic families, and the root chakra. And imagine your roots going down your legs, out your feet, and down into Mother Gaia, down into the center of Earth, down into the crystalline layer of the Earth, and circling back up again into the heavens and down. And this is why a lot of us get the rainbow bridge. The rainbow bridge, I believe, is our connection when we are a light worker, a star seed. I don't know for sure if it's all of us, but we are like the rainbow bridge between heaven and earth. We are the bridge. And all of our chakras. So if you're sensitive and you're depressed, if you're sensitive and you're empathic and you're anxious and you're depressed and you don't feel like you fit into your body, like you feel like you don't belong here on earth, you feel like, you just don't fit in, and you've never felt like you fit in, and you feel alone, you're not alone. You be here with me, because and I'm going to offer, complimentary Reiki sessions to align our chakra systems. And when your chakra systems are aligned, your heart can be more open and your systems can run smoothly. And when your systems are running smoothly, your heart is open. All of the things that we want can be more in alignment. Our soul, our heart, and our mind can be in alignment. And when our heart and our brain function, if you check out Joe Dispenza's work, when you have heart and brain coherence, when your heart and brain are in alignment with each other, that's when we have peace. I've been waking up with anxiety for the past couple of months, ever since I had to go back to Ohio to empty out my house. And somehow I was waking with anxiety, and I haven't done that in a couple years. I used to wake up, I realize now every day I would wake up with anxiety, like open my eyes and it's like, it hits me, anxiety. It was like just facing the day, just facing the morning. It was just constant anxiety. So I didn't realize I haven't done that in so long, and it felt awful. So I think it was like my brain telling me one story and my heart telling me another story. And they're like at war with each other. So they're not in coherence. They're separate from each other. And when we're separated from our heart, we're separated from our feeling, or separated from our intuition, separated from God, source, universe, our higher self, who our higher self is. When we're separated from that, we get into fear and doubt and shame and self-criticism and negative cycles, and all of those things are keeping us from our true self. They're keeping us from our love of ourself, which means that we can't love another and we can't open our heart. So all of us are meant to open our hearts so we can let love in, love for ourselves and love for another. Oh, and there was also connect with your womb. There's a song, I have it in my Spotify. It's I can't remember who sings it, but it's when I listen to the sound of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer. It might be called Beauty Prayer. I love that song. I don't know if I've done that dance yet. So those are our cards. Connect with our womb. I know there's some meditations I saw on YouTube that are connecting with your womb, so you could check that out. Well, I guess that's it. Let's see if I can find it. Sound. Oh, the voice of my womb, I think it is. Voice of my womb. I love this song so much. Voice of my womb. If this is it, Marya, Marya Stark, Stark. Voice of my womb. Beauty prayer when I listen to the voice of my womb. I hear a beauty prayer when I listen to the of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer. I just like to rub my belly. Beauty prayer, it says, you know what? Whenever you see this, if this video ends up saving, whenever you see this video, dance with me. I've been wanting to dance. So let's see. I haven't tried this yet live. Okay, I'm going to end this with connecting with our womb. And if you're watching this, no matter when you watch this, and no matter when you see these readings, it's going to be something that will resonate for you. If you run across this video and you see it, you can even, if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, just slide your finger on the little dial, just close your eyes or whatever, just where do you feel? When you stop there, that's probably something you need to know. This is something I've learned. But if you want to dance with me, it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, child, it doesn't matter who you are. We can move our energy with dance. And don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about any of that. Just move your body, close your eyes if you want to, and just feel the music. Hopefully you can hear it. Voice of my womb, Maria Stark, to connect with our womb. I've been wanting to do this dance live with people. Listen. When I listen to the voice in my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice in my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice in my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. It says, child, stay calm, stay open. You are protected and connected to this love, this song, this wisdom. It is always there when I listen to the voice of my womb. I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. It says, child, stay calm, stay open. You are protected and connected to this love, this song, and wisdom. It is always there when I listen to the voice of my womb. I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. When I listen to the voice of my womb, I hear a beauty prayer, beauty prayer. That was fun. I remember thinking when I was going to do this live, I always do this like last minute. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go live. And of course, I don't think anyone's even here. But I wanted to, pull out oracle cards, play a little bit of my new instruments I just bought today, and dance and listen to music. So it's like a variety show, just a little bit of everything. Sitting here talking to myself. Well, hopefully somebody finds this at some point. This is my first time trying it. So thanks for being here if you are. And don't forget, you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just slide the dial, and you could just slide the dial as many times as you want, and you might find just a spot that you need to hear at that very moment. Thank you. Love you and have a good day or night.